Okay, so criteria 1.1 is describe a craft activity suitable for the child within the age bracket that we're looking at. Okay, so we're looking at 2 to 5s, and let me just explain to you what my activity is then. So I know that we like to do things based on a child's interests. Now, we are one of those people who, when we find these Devon rocks and stones that are littered about around Torbay, we're one of the selfish people who usually keeps them rather than hides them, and I've got a collection at the front door. Now, Riley, who's 2.5, is very interested in these stones, and this morning decided on the way to school to rearrange them all, which was really helpful. So I thought, here we go, we've got an interest here in painting stones. Let's give it a whirl today. So I've got a collection of stones. I have some different paints here and some different tools. So I've got different paint brushes, and I've got some matchsticks over here and some palettes, so they're nice and flat so we can get stuck in. Over here I've actually got some paint where I've mixed two colours together, but not fully, so that potentially he can have a little go at mixing himself, and some different size tools. So we've got pipe cleaner as well, and then we've just got a stick with like the opportunity to maybe do some little dotting or some prodding around with the paint rather than spreading it on. Got some paper on the floor, and then flip a few there, just in case we make a bit of a mess, but also in case he gets fed up with doing it on the stones and he wants to make his painting more large scale. I also have a little collection of Power Ranger toys here. They are nicely connected to the colours that we're using. We're using some primary colours here. And this is absolutely Riley's interest. So he may start to talk about higher stones, which is his word for Power Ranger, which may be what we decide to paint, or what Riley decides he's going to paint. So this is my activity. My activity is really exploring materials, mixing colours, being able to use communication and language to extend our vocabulary a little bit further, and to explore mark making, different patterns that we can make, different prints, and hopefully begin to give meaning to those marks that we make. Okay, so that's 1.1. Now, if we want to think about the next criteria, which is 1.2, explain the benefits and the learning, I'm going to say it's predominantly going to be focused on communication and language. I'm going to be offering some nice rich descriptive language while we engage in this. And hopefully Riley's going to be able to use the vocabulary he currently holds to really tell me what he's doing, and to talk through and maybe create a little bit of a narrative within this play, within this craft activity. Physical development too is going to be supported, because we've not just got the large scale brushes here and the large paper, we've also got the little matchsticks and things that are going to require different types of grip, those fine manipulative movements we're going to see develop here in this activity. You'll notice I haven't put a chair out either. I want Riley to be standing up. When children are standing up and they are using these fine manipulative movements, it just gets them to develop different muscles in the arms, in the top, and also in the fingers that eventually will assist the child when it comes to handwriting skills when they're a little bit older. So we want him to be stood up doing this. Also, knowing Riley as I do, knowing his characteristics of effective learning, he is a child who is going to transport and move around. He's not a sitting still type of child. He'll want to be very active in his learning. So there's the characteristic there. He's an active learner. So that's why I don't have any chairs, and we just have a floor space available here, one that I imagine will get quite messy. Riley also is a child who has a little bit of an issue with sensory experiences. So talking about PSED, personal, social, and emotional development, and his characteristic of learning that I want to support, carrying on and having a go and taking risks, I want to expose him to a little bit more messy play, just to let him know that it's okay, and that he can find some sort of therapeutic input from that really, and enjoy the sensory experiences, the calming approach that hopefully this activity might have. We shall see. We'll also be talking about numbers, so there'll be early mathematics support that's going in there, and mathematical language, so we may be using positional language on top or underneath. I may be offering some counting as we go along. But that is mainly the areas of learning and development that I'm going to be focusing on. Now, as we know, children develop holistically a lot of the time, and so do our activities. They support holistic development. So we may see on reflection that there are many other areas of learning and development that are supported here. Okay, moving on to the next few criteria. We need to think about 2.2 and 2.3, how to deal with health and safety issues of this activity and how we can support a child in relation to health and safety. So if we think of health and safety issues, first of all, let's go to the matchsticks. They are quite small, yes. I would say potentially for some children they could be a choking hazard, okay? We've also got some heavy tables that are a bit wobbly. We've got some rocks that could cause a serious amount of damage, and this child is an absolute thrower, so they potentially could get launched. The bottles as well, okay, and the trays. But also we've got here the pipe cleaners. On the ends of the pipe cleaners, they are actually quite sharp. There's metal running through them, metal wire. They could potentially be a bit of an issue or a health and safety issue around the eye. So we're going to identify a few risks here, potential hazards. Now, as is in most cases, the way that I'm going to support these health and safety issues is by supervision. Now, I'm quite fortunate, we're on a one-to-one basis right now. And actually when Riley's in nursery, a lot of the time that is his ratio. He has a one-to-one ratio based on his needs. But in this age group, of course, we'd be looking at a 1-to-4, a 1-to-8 ratio, depending on the exact age of the child. So we'd need to make sure that supervision was adequate. Now, it may be that you would decide you would need additional members of staff in this activity. There is going to be cleaning up that's involved. So we need to make sure that there's a member of staff available to do that, or as a parent or carer, if we're looking at this at home, parent or carer who's available to do the learning focus, one who's available to clean up, and also members of staff that are aware of the health and safety issues that could potentially arise and how they could support them. Now, another critical tool for you in managing health and safety issues around this is going to be modelling. So demonstrating to the child, using key terms, giving them actions that don't not allow them to explore freely, but allow them to explore safely. So giving them those clear set boundaries, and regular supervision and deployment without stifling the child's creativity. Okay, so that's 2.2 and 2.3. That is how I would support health and safety, particularly for this child and generically for an activity of this type. Okay, now when he wakes up, I'll start filming and we'll let you know how it goes.